this video is going to tell you my top 13 of 2013. So stay tuned if you want to watch me make very, very hard decisions. So like I said, this video is going to be my top 13 of 2013. Before I start with my list, my very lengthy list, I will say that this list was very, very, very hard to comprise. For 2013, it was a phenomenal reading year for me. I read a total of 84 books this year. That's right, 84. Never in my life would I ever thought that I would be able to say, I've read 84 books in 1 year, and I have, and it's just like kind of mind-blowing because I'm like, where did I have all that time? Like how did I read that much? But it's awesome nonetheless, so think about that. Think about choosing from 84 books, which 13 were your top of the top. Like, it's very, very tough. Like, it was hard. Like, I was looking through my Goodreads list and I was like, oh my gosh. And there were so many I had to leave out, but I love so much. So yeah, just know that if you're like, she did not mention that book, or I can't believe that one is not as high as the other, it was hard, okay? This is my personal opinion. You've got your top 13, I've got mine. We're cool. So let's begin with the top 13 in 2013, starting with 13, working our way all the way down to number 1. My number 13 slot goes to Shatter Me and Unravel Me. Since they're, in the same series, I'm comprising them together. So if that's cheating, whatever, okay? I put these two on the list because as much as I don't know, I do really love the series. I don't know if I've rated either of these 5 stars, but they were both 4, and I just really love the story and the love interest in this book, honestly. If you guys don't know, this book is about a girl named Juliet who has a very lethal touch that, like, if she touched you, she kills you. And it's all about her, and then it's got this huge love triangle going on, and it's a love triangle of which I switch sides of, which I've never done that before, so... Well, wait, I think I struggled with that in Delirium. So this will be my second kind of novel series that I've struggled with love triangles before. Usually I'm a very one-sided type of triangle person. But this series in Delirium, like, it had me switching up. But I do love this series overall. So I definitely recommend this one if you like dystopian or if you like stuff like that. Number 12 slot goes to Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. This is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles series. Cinder was the first, and I actually liked Scarlet better than I liked Cinder. I think I liked Scarlet as a character better, and I liked Wolf as a character better than Cinder and Kai. That may be just me. Everyone loves Cinder, but I might be one of the only ones that like Scarlet better than Cinder. If you guys don't know about this series, it's kind of a futuristic kind of retelling of fairy tale. So Cinder is mainly about Cinderella and how Cinder was Cinderella, and she has this, she's actually part cyborg and stuff like that. And this is about Scarlet, who is like Little Red Riding Hood. And yeah, and the next one coming out in February is going to be called Crest, and it's about Rapunzel, who is a super awesome hacker. Like, who knew about that? But anyway, this was a great, phenomenal novel. Like, I loved it. Speaking of sequels, my number 11 pick was Shades of Earth by Beth Revis. This is the third and final book in the Across the Universe trilogy, and this series has got to be one of my favorites overall. Like, I think each and every one of the books of this series I gave 5 out of 5. Like, I loved this series, and I thought this book, the last book, was an amazing conclusion to the series. I felt like it rounded out the series greatly. I felt like it was just a very strong series. So I really loved this series, and it would be higher up on my list, but I only read one of the books in 2013. I will guarantee if I read a million songs in 2013, they'd be definitely higher. But Shades of Earth was just so, so awesome. Like, I love it. If you guys are looking for a great sci-fi novel, definitely pick this one up, like, right now. My number 10 pick is going to be The Running Dream by Wendelin Van Dreer. This is a YA contemporary novel, and it's about a girl named Jessica, I believe that's her name, that loses her leg in an accident, and she is a runner, and it's really hard. This novel is all about coping with it. It's very sad, but it's kind of uplifting in a way. It teaches you... What I took away from this novel is that, like, it was like a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, I forget how old she was. She was so mature about it, much more than I think a lot of people, even myself, might have been. And I really loved watching that. It was just a very courageous and kind of uplifting, kind of sad story, but this was so good. Like, it won an award, so that should show you how good it is, right? But I don't know if this book gets talked about a lot other than me on the booktube community, but I highly recommend you read this. It's so good. My number 9 pick is going to be The Raven Boys / The Dream Thieves. This is another series. I'm kind of putting a series that I read together as a bundle. I might be cheating, whatever. This series is by Maggie Stiefvater, and I love this series. It would be higher up on my list, honestly, if it wasn't so dang confusing. If you guys know, if you've heard me talk about The Raven Boys before, I gave it 4 out of 5 because it took me about 100 pages to get into it because it was so confusing. Like, the first time I ever read this book, I had to put it down because I was like, what the crap am I reading? But once the story got past 100 pages, it really picked up, and it was so good. Such a good kind of sci-fi paranormal. And The Dream Thieves is really good too. I think I both gave them 4 out of 5 stars. Regardless, they're still some of my favorites to read, even though they confuse the crap out of me. So if you're looking for some interesting, very unusual type of way, it's YA, but it's just so different from any YA book I've ever read. But I really love these two. I'd highly recommend those as well. My number 8 pick is going to a contemporary, and that's going to be My Life Next Door by Huntley Fitzpatrick. This has got to be hands down one of my top 5 favorite contemporaries of the year. You guys know I love contemporary. Some booktubers don't like contemporaries. I freaking love it. And I love this one. This was a sugary, sweet, beautiful novel. Like, oh, I need more of it in my life. So if you're looking for a very happy kind of like Anna and the French Kiss and Alone in the Boy Next Door, you should definitely read this. And if you guys are wondering why those two are on my list that I just mentioned, because I read them last year, 2012, not 2013. But I freaking loved this one. Like, I loved it. My number 7 pick is going to Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This is actually an adult novel, but I think if you like YA, you can still read this. This book is all about a futuristic world where it's like there's a game and it's a utopia, and it's just freaking amazing. Like, I love this book. Like, I devoured this book. I lent this book out to so many people because it was so good. So I love this. To say I loved it would be an understatement, honestly, because it's on the list. It's so good, so good. My number 6 pick is going to Prodigy and Champion by Marie Lu. I'm bundling up, like I said. They're both amazing. I believe I rated Prodigy a 5 out of 5 and then Champion a 4 out of 5. I did love the conclusion of this novel. I didn't really love the ending, but I didn't hate it as another ending, hence why you're probably not going to see it on this list. But I did love this series, and I just thought it was a great series. If you're looking for a great YA dystopian series to get into, if Divergent broke your heart, definitely pick this one up. My number 5 pick will definitely be cheating, but whatever, it's my list. Number 5 pick is going to Eleanor and Park and Fangirl, both by Rainbow Rowell. The reason I'm putting them together is because I both love them like equally in a separate way. And they're both by the same author, so cheating, yeah. I love Eleanor and Park. Eleanor and Park is a beautiful romance, but a very sad book. And then on the completely different side of the spectrum, you have Fangirl, which is a completely happy, smiley book, kind of like Anna and the French Kiss almost. They're just so great together. They're both just so beautiful on their own, together, separately, however you want to put it. To Rainbow Rowell, you are amazing. And I love both of these books, and they're both two completely different sides of the spectrum, and I love that for that. I love her for that because she could write it so well, like the kind of sad and then the happy so well. Loved it. Definitely pick these up. Get down to the nitty gritty now, so hold on to your seats, sirs and ma'ams. My number 4 pick is going to Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. I'm sure this is going to be on everyone's list. This was an amazing series, an amazing trilogy. I loved it so much. If you guys don't know, this is part of the Infernal Devices trilogy. This is the last book. It is a kind of prequel to the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare, another series that I love. So I love this book. It was just so awesome. My number 3 pick is going to Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. You're like, well, hold up, a contemporary Clockwork Princess? Hold up. And yes, okay, yes, I love Clockwork Princess, but it's not like my cult favorite like everyone else's, so I'm sure I'm about to get a lot of comments right about now saying, how dare you? Well, I am who I am, but I'm not Popeye because that's who says that, but I am me. Anyway, I loved Amy Rogers. Like, if you guys have seen my review and stuff, you guys know how much I love this book. And it's a great contemporary. As a contemporary lover, this is like at the top of my list because I just love contemporary that has a lot of love in it, but it has a lot of good values in it and stuff like that almost. And this one was just so fun. It's about a guy and a girl that go on this road trip, and there's pictures in it, and there's like menus and playlists, and it's just so kind of interactive, which is why I love it so much. Like, the characters are amazing. Like, I loved this book. Loved it book. For my top 2, you guys that are my viewers that have been with me for a while, you probably already know which ones are gonna happen. So you know what? Let's just, you know what it is. My number 2 pick is going to be The Fifth Wave by Yancey. You guys know I adore this book. Now, I didn't even know what I was getting into before I read it. I just knew that it had a lot of hype around it, and I think the hype's worth it, honestly. Now, there are some people that don't like this book as much as I do, but I loved it. Like, I love this book. This is a great sci-fi dystopian that really had me on the edge of my seat, and I love the romance in it, and I love the characters, and I need more right now. Like, I want more. I need Evan in my life. I just need it to happen. But to say I love this book would be an understatement. Like, I think this is gonna be on my favorites for a long, long time. Like, the top of the top. Alright, my number 1 pick. Do you want a drum roll? Wait, can I drum roll? It's going to be The Darkest Minds and Never Fade by Alexander Bracken. I don't have Never Fade with me. I'm lending it out to someone. But this book, you guys probably already knew it and saw it coming. This book, guys, this book was so amazing. Like, so amazing. If you are looking for a darker type of dystopian that is so actiony, that has enough romance in it, that just keeps you guessing and wanting more, you need to pick up this series. I picked this up strictly because of BookTube, so thank you, BookTube, because I don't think I would be naturally drawn to the cover, but I don't even care. This book was so amazing. So amazing. Like, you probably already knew this is my number 1 slot. It's gonna be on a lot of people's number 1 slots, as I hope it is. But I loved this book. That was my top 13 of 2013. Now, I'm sure there's gonna be some books that are not on here that you guys are probably freaking out about, and the number 1 is going to be Legend by Veronica Roth. I didn't love that book, guys, so I didn't want to lie to myself and put it up there. I honestly would have put it on my list because it's involved with Divergent and my love for Divergent, but if I'm being completely honest with myself, I didn't love it. I rated it a 3 out of 5. I can't do that to the other books on my list, to cheat on them just because a 3 out of 5 got on there just because of my love for Divergent. I can't do that. So you guys are probably like punching me right now, but that's just, honestly, I didn't love the book, so I couldn't put it on my list. But other than that, there are some other books I just want to mention that I really love that I didn't put on this list. Percy Jackson Lightning Thief. I only read the first book in that series, and I didn't want to put on this list because I love the book, but I didn't love it, like cult-obsessed love it, and I didn't want to put on the list because I want to read more of the books and I want my love for them to grow, so I kind of want to like hold off on that almost, if that makes any sense. Another book I loved that didn't make it on the list is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. Loved it. I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. Loved it. Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. Loved it. I just finished Crash Into You by Katie McGarry. Holy crap, amazing. Loved it. The Boundless by Cynthia Hand. Loved it. There's some other books up here that I've just loved and you guys know I love. So this list was very, very hard. I hope you can bear with me with that. I feel like I'm apologizing for that a lot. Even though I probably shouldn't. But whatever. Please, let's talk about how many books you guys read. What were some of your favorites of the year? 2013 was a great reading year for me, so I'm very happy to read the books that I read. Yeah, stay tuned because as always, as last year, I put up a slideshow of the books I read last year, and I will do the same for this year, so it might be a long video. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Happy 2014. Bye.